Taking control of your mind and thoughts is crucial to living your most fulfilling life. This video will give you 4 ways to help you do just that. Let's start with the first idea of understanding the difference between problems and predicaments. As leadership expert John Maxwell puts it, a problem is something you could do something about. If you can't do something about it, then it's not a problem. It's a predicament. That means it's something that must be coped with and endured. For example, if someone has lost their job or has been laid off during the coronavirus pandemic, it's not a problem, but a predicament because they don't have control over the pandemic. So it wouldn't be wise to waste valuable mental energy being upset over losing their job if they can't do anything about it. Instead, it would be wise to focus on what else can be done to bring in income to cover living expenses, and if they have more free time, using that time to develop themselves, such as reading books in their field or learning new skill sets. Simply put, before you devote a lot of mental energy towards something, ask yourself, is this a problem or a predicament? If you can do something about it, it's a problem that has a solution. However, if you can't do anything about it, it's a predicament that you'll need to accept and work with. The next thing is knowing the difference between rumination and reflection. Rumination is simply repetitively going over a thought or problem without completion. For example, with someone who's depressed, the theme of rumination could be thoughts of being inadequate or feeling worthless. For example, maybe someone has done poorly in school and they ruminate about all the times they failed their tests. Because failure occupies their mind, it's very unlikely they'll put themselves in situations where they could feel inadequate again, such as enrolling in college classes. In contrast, reflection often leads to more positive results. Reflection is simply observing your thoughts and feelings and then using your observations to gain understanding or possibly making changes for better future outcomes. In our example, this person may reflect and realize that they feel like a failure because they failed a lot of tests in school, but then they focus on why they failed. If it's because of a low IQ, that's a predicament and not worth dwelling over. It would be wiser to focus on other factors that can be changed, such as a lack of studying or not having a tutor. Another positive result of reflection could be simply letting go of the belief that failing in school makes you a failure as a person. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and maybe school could be a weakness of this person's. But it isn't wise to dwell on weaknesses that may not matter at the expense of developing strengths that do. For example, if you're a gifted painter, don't ruminate on how you failed all your calculus tests. By reflecting instead of ruminating, you'll be much more likely to get out of a rut and start taking actions that are positive and productive. The third thing is to think of thoughts as nutrition. Would you eat this moldy bread? I'm sure you wouldn't, and it's because it would make you sick. But if you wouldn't eat this moldy bread, why would you consume the mental thoughts of jealousy, bitterness, or inadequacy? Negative thoughts will enter your mind from time to time, but at a certain point, you'll need to consume healthier thoughts if you want to become mentally healthier and stronger. At the same time, be careful of consuming fantasy thoughts, which are thoughts that are sweet but lack substance. Fantasy-like thoughts could be reliving your past and doing things differently that would make your life better now. The past is over and done with, and dwelling on fantasies that will never become a reality are like eating decadent candy. They may be enjoyable to consume in the moment, but will leave you sluggish and less healthy down the road. It's a simple exercise, but when you find yourself dwelling on a thought, compare that thought to a food. Is it moldy bread, like a thought of feeling worthless and unlovable? Is it like a candy bar, like living a fantasy that will never be a reality? Or is it like a well-balanced meal that involves honest reflection with an intent of learning from it and improving? You become a product of what you consume mentally, So make sure you're consuming the thoughts that make you stronger and healthier. Number 4, choose your peers carefully. I was in the grocery store shopping recently, and it was during the coronavirus pandemic. At this time, I wasn't wearing a mask. I was looking at everyone in the store and noticed that I was literally the only person in the store not wearing a mask. I felt incredibly uncomfortable and really wanted to put on a mask like everyone else. Now, I share this not to start a debate if we should or should not be wearing a mask, but I share it to show the power the effect of others can have on you. If you surround yourself with people who dwell on predicaments they can't control and consume thoughts that make them weak and sluggish, over time you'll naturally think and act like they do in order to connect with them. It's tough to master your mind and thoughts on your own, but you don't have to do it alone. Make an effort to surround yourself with people who will make you want to think and act in ways that lead you to growth and development. My friend, I hope these ways help you master your mind and thoughts, and if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing today and look for future videos that post on Mondays. This is Michael, helping you transform your thinking for the better. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.